Alright, good morning. This is a little Camtasia tutorial I'm trying to create. This is using an adaptation of a sheet to help develop characters that I've borrowed from Creative Writing Now. At the top it says write the name of your character, answer the questions with that character in mind. So I want you to choose the characters you think are interesting or helpful. Don't feel obligated to answer every question for every character if you don't want to. Again, this sheet is just for your protagonist, your main character. The more planning, the easier it will be to guide your protagonist as he travels through time. Remember that what we're asking you to do with this assignment is that you need to develop a protagonist, and that protagonist is going to then, as we go through and study world history, that character is going to have to face challenges, problems, meet people, overcome things. But this person is somebody that you're going to have to know inside and out as you guide this person throughout, throughout time and throughout your story. The last part, then, consider how these characteristics and traits will or will not be adaptable to a variety of periods we encounter in the study of world history. So I'm going to scroll through this document real quickly. There's about 30 things here. The first thing I think is important is that you decide on a name. A name says quite a bit about a person. We know people or we meet people and say, she doesn't look like a Jenny. Even the name that you choose is going to have a bearing on how other people see that character in your story. We want to decide on an age. I'm going to challenge some of you guys to try to pick somebody that isn't necessarily just like yourself too. I think that will help you stretch your mind as a writer. General physical description, so we want to be able to get a picture of what your character is going to look like. Again, you want to think about how that's going to translate as your character goes through time. Then also, what's the hometown of your character? I think as we decide some things about your character's background, that hometown might make some differences in how he finds himself in different situations. And more specifically, the type of home or neighborhood within that hometown. His relationship status, so like his current relationship status that he's in, and the current family that he has. Then we want to consider the family background. We know that it helps to shape who we are as people, so we need to think about those things before we have this character go through our story. Any friends that the character has, other close relationships. We need to think about both that character's relationship with men and his relationship with women. What job does this character have? And then maybe your character doesn't have a job, or maybe your character is too young to have a job, or is retired from a job. So consider all those things too. We're going to think about how he dresses, clothes himself, his religion, his attitude about religion, his hobbies, maybe a secret that he's never told anyone that probably is something that would play out somewhere in your story. His strongest positive personality trait, and we know that if our characters are too perfect, they're not likable, and it's important for these characters to have a flaw. So on 20, I'm asking you for the strongest negative personality trait. And then kind of his sense of humor. We're going to write a prolonged piece of fiction here, and so if there's not a comedic element to it, it might get boring for your reader. Also, the sense of humor of your main character will probably help us like him or her more. 22, disposition. If you don't know what disposition is, you're going to have to Google that word, look it up. 23, his consideration for others. And then the reverse in 24, how other people see him or her. 25, the opinion he has for himself or herself. What ambitions this person has. And then also what fears this person has. 28, what's kept him from reaching his potential? I think that's important to know, that even if he has goals, there's got to be something that's kept him or held him back. 29, what will characters like about this character? Let me see if I can put that in there, about this character. So that's a mistake. And 30, I want you to go and I want you to find a picture that you can put in here. That picture, I like to have maybe an actor that, if it was going to, my story was going to be turned into a movie, what would be the actor that would play that character? So maybe you go and find a picture of an actor or actress that you could copy and paste in here, so you have that clear visual of what your character looks like. And again, that thing, the way the character looks, dresses, makeup, those sorts of things would obviously have to change as you went through different time periods, but just so you have a clear vision of what that character is going to look like. So give this sheet a shot. Do your best to go through and answer as many of these as possible. My suggestion is the more questions you answer, the easier it's going to be, and you won't get stuck as your character goes through, and it won't seem like a different character for each story. It will help that with that consistency. So give this sheet a shot, and let me know if you have any problems, and I'll be here to help. Thanks.